Hi, it's Leanne here from Polite Pooches Sydney, and we're with Dr. Tennille for our Friday at 5. And today our topic is ticks.
Ticks.
So, Tennille, please
Little ticks.
tell me, how many types of ticks are there?
Well, the main two we get here in New South Wales and Sydney are the brown dog tick and the paralysis tick. So there's also a kangaroo tick, but they're the main two. So if you find a tick on your dog, it will likely be one of those two.
And how dangerous are these ticks?
So the brown dog tick is it's okay. If they get enough of them, it can cause anemia. The other thing is ticks can carry diseases. So brown dog tick is a carrier for a lot of different diseases, which you can ask your vet about. And then of course the paralysis tick is super nasty. So that tick has a neurotoxin that can kill your dog within a few days.
So, for example, if you had a small or very young dog, would a paralysis tick affect it sooner than if you had an older, larger breed dog?
Certainly, a little puppy can get sick and die very quickly from a paralysis tick. A paralysis tick can even kill a calf. Maybe not a full-grown cow, but a calf or a little foal can die from a paralysis tick as well.
Oh my goodness. And so, what time of year are these ticks the worst?
Look, I would be worried about them all year round, really, but certainly the summer months they're worst. We generally say, look, around July, August, we might start to see some ticks around, and then maybe through to about April, we still see ticks. So I think you should be worried about them all year round, really.
Okay, and so tell us, if you suspect that your dog has been bitten by a tick, what would be the first signs you'd look for?
So if you think your dog has a tick, the first thing is you should look for a tick. But the signs that you might see can be very variable, but vomiting, it causes an ascending paralysis, which means the back end of the dog gets paralysis first and it moves forward. So generally, paralysis of the hind limbs and tail. So they get this typical drunken gait, can be one of the first signs. They can also have respiratory difficulties. But really, I think anything where your dog isn't behaving normally, you should get it checked by your vet.
So this is one of those situations where you don't take your time and wait and see if it'll get better.
No. And if you find a tick on your dog, and your dog is not normal, you need to go to the vet. So the first thing, you can try to remove it yourself. So if you find a tick on your dog, you either should remove it yourself or go to the vet if you don't feel comfortable doing that and remove it. Get the vet to remove it. There are particular little implements you can buy to remove ticks. And if your dog is not normal, it needs to be seen by the vet.
Okay, great. And what prevention do you recommend?
So the best form of prevention is to check your dog every day. So if you're in a tick area, then every day you should be running your hands through the coat of your dog, everywhere, between the toes, around the face, in the little pocket in the ear, up around the lips, everywhere. Certainly 80% of the time ticks will attach to the head and neck, so that area you should really concentrate on, because they're attracted to carbon dioxide, but you should check the whole animal. So do that every day. So with the idea that if you do find a tick, then hopefully you can remove it before it starts putting the toxin into the body. And then there are prevention products you can buy. There's some new oral products, Bravecto and NexGard, which are very good. You can also get some topical Frontline and Advantix, little pipettes on the back of the neck. There's also collars available as well, tick collars. So you can use any of those, or all of those products. Speak to your vet about a combination if you want to use more than one.
And even with us being in the eastern suburbs and traditionally not having a tick problem here, you would still strongly suggest, as I do with my own dogs, I cover them for I provide tick prevention.
I think, certainly here, like in Sydney, as soon as you go over the Harbour Bridge to the north, you're definitely in a high tick area. Certainly in the inner city Sydney CBD, around here near our clinic, inner city eastern suburbs is not considered as high a tick risk, but I certainly would never say never, and we do get the odd client with a dog with a tick from this area. If you go on a holiday to South Coast, Central Coast, very high risk there. So you really want to be talking to your vet about getting some prevention on board if you're taking your dog on a holiday to the Blue Mountains or somewhere where it's very high tick area.
Okay, great.
One more thing. It doesn't matter as well about the size of the tick. So if you find even a teeny tiny tick, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not toxic. So, even the smallest tick, if you're worried that your pet's not behaving normally, then go to your vet and have them checked.
And so, sorry, just one clarification on that for people that have never seen a tick.
Yes.
It can look like a little dark brown or grey freckle.
Yes. So that's a good question. They can be variable in colour, so you won't be able to tell from the colour or the size whether it's a brown dog tick or a paralysis tick. They can be cream, grey, brown, from teeny tiny through to the size of your thumbnail. You can, if you want, take it into the vet and give it to the vet. The vet can tell you what type of tick. There is a way to distinguish where their legs are, whether we've got a paralysis tick or a bush tick.
So again, this is another reason why it's so critical that people actually handle their dogs every day and get their fingers, yes, of course, and cats, and get their fingers onto the skin as they're checking.
So put your fingers right onto the skin. I mean, a lot of people up in the northern suburbs will actually clip their animal during the high tick risk season so that they can check their dog or cat more easily for ticks.
Oh, perfect. Well, hopefully we've managed to save somebody's life during this summer.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Tanel.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.